Do you see this? This is rainwater. Purely rainwater. And this is rainwater. And this is rainwater. But this one is also rainwater. And that last one is over 1,000 feet away from its collection source. Now I know I'm calling this the ultimate rainwater collection system, but look, there may be some better one, but this is dang near perfect, I'll tell you that. Okay, perfection is a little much, but this is a pretty good one. Now with this fancy little hookup right here, this allows me to either choose to do rainwater coming from this side or shut the system down and do city water, where I can have higher pressure water if I need to, or if my water collection system is out of water because it hasn't been raining or hasn't filled, which is less likely because I have so much collection, I could switch over and still use city water just in case. This is important because I have cows that drink a lot of water. What started this whole project is that I have really rocky soil, and coming in and digging a well over here would not just be expensive, it would be more than expensive because they not only have to drill through rock, I'm not guaranteed in a spot like this to even find water. And when it came to running chicken tractors out here, I was acres away from the water source, and I would have to trek in 5-gallon buckets on the back of a Polaris, spilling everywhere. Honestly, it was the worst part about raising chickens, is bringing them through the field and dealing with their water. So we devised a great plan. And that was to use our hill to gravity feed the water, not just to our garden, but to our entire pastures. So let's go up to the house and I'll show you where it all starts. And everything starts on this side of the house right here. It has a first flush system that starts over here, fills up a tube that's just out of your way that you can't see, then comes down and fills this up. But I don't have this system filling up and staying filled because we get so much rain here down in Middle Tennessee. If this overflows, it will overflow next to my house, wash out. It's actually why you can see this is dead right over here, because we've had washout problems with flooding. I don't want it to overflow up here. So I had a solution. We get so much rain at one time, it will fill this entire 275 gallons from one side of my house in one rain, depending on how hard that rainfall is. So I have a tube that is constantly open, and it's going to run out that flow down the hill to a second collection source, and that is where I will store the water. It starts right here from the tube, comes down, turns. It's not buried yet. I did this so that I could show all of you guys before I buried it what this was like. Comes down, and then this, I'm gonna have to change this too, but it goes down into the tube that goes under my road right here, so that I don't drive over the line. And then this tube comes out of the pipe, runs all the way downhill to where the final storage is. Let's go over there and I'll show you. Then it comes all the way downhill to these rain barrels. Right now I have it set up to where it's just draining in. This is gonna change. I only have one 275 gallon IBC totes down here right now, but my goal is to have 10 of them all the way across, and this one pipe will feed all 10 of them. So they'll fill up at the same time and lower all at the same time. And all of this then goes down way into that field, over 1,000 feet away from this source right here. And then just down the hill from that is what is potentially going to be one of my flower fields. And last year I had a really hard time bringing water down to this flower field. We're really rocky right here, specifically in my very, very specific spot here in Tennessee. It's not all as rocky as I am, but I'm really close to bedrock. So I need all the water I can get, even though we get so much rain. But right here, I tried to do a flower field last year, and the water to get everything over here it didn't work out well. So that's one reason why I also needed to be able to hook up to city water, just in case I had to spread with all of that water for this flower field. Now, what makes this some of the best rainwater collection system is that I have all of this hooked up with these little quick connect adapters, where everything can go straight into it. And right now it's rainwater, and all of that could come out right here. The flow is a little bit better, but I actually grabbed the wrong hose, and inside of here I'm missing a gasket, so it's leaking. But the pressure downhill is greater than what we see right here. Again, just rainwater. And this doesn't just help me with potential flower fields, this helps me with cow watering, because this cow watering system is a lot of work to fill this thing up all the time, move it, and try to pasture rotate my cows while I am putting them through different places in the pasture. It's really hard to do rainwater collection when a cow, and you have multiple, each cow can drink 50 gallons per day. Rainwater collection through that and feeding them or watering them with that is so difficult. This is why we needed to utilize everything that we have in order to get the best outcome. And by utilizing these quick connect adapter systems, I'm at a different spot. I can put these throughout the pasture and it makes it so easy to not just water the cows, water the chickens, and that's not even the best part. Let me show you over here. One side of my house waters one of the pastures. The other side of my house has these other 3 275 gallon each IBC totes that water not just the other pasture, but also, oh, I thought that was a snake or something. Let me show you what just freaked me out. The little puppies who like to rest under the water totes. Seriously, I don't know what my reaction looked like, but genuinely, it really sounded like a snake slithering up. Okay, back to the story. So these 3 IBC totes, 275 gallon each, will then go down and not only water my pasture, but also my garden. Now, while I'm here, let me show you the original system that I was using. That is PEX piping. As you saw, I'm using that black piping, and I'll show you where I got that next. But I wish I didn't do this. The connections are way more expensive. The piping is more expensive. It's more rigid and can handle colder temperatures. But the other one, as long as I bury it, should be just fine. And it's harder to convert this PEX piping over to the other stuff. And PEX piping with quick connect systems, it's just not as easy to find. So definitely go for that other stuff. We'll go through that in a minute. I want to keep showing you the rest of the garden. We've got to work our way down over to the garden, and you can see the PEX piping going this way. That is a tube, so I can bury over it with rock, and we could still run the tube through the driveway, and it will go all the way down, all the way to the garden, and also into that pasture. And now that we're on our way down there, I have 2 things to share with you. One of them, that this is my handy dandy hose. Well, not this one, because I already told you that this one's broken. I have one that's an identical one that I normally carry with me. But the other thing is that garden drinks as much water, if not more, than a cow, especially in times of drought. So that's why I have 3 water systems over on this side, because I need to be able to water the rest of the animals and water the garden. But honestly, cows drink so much, and we're planning on getting more, that's why I need even more backup storage, 10 275 gallon IBC totes down on that other side. Okay, enough about that. Let's go see the garden. I'm realizing now I'm going to be spending a lot of time on the ground in this video, but this is downhill at the greenhouse, and this is my main tee-off connection to the rest of the garden. Originally, again, here is the PEX piping. We were connecting hoses here, but this is what we want to transfer to, all this black piping. Then it comes in, tees off to here, goes to one part of the garden, and this side goes down to the other part of the garden, but also goes on the inside of this greenhouse. Now, coming right here into the greenhouse, I have a connection to where I have water coming in, and I have full running rainwater just down here into my greenhouse. And then I have another part, which is another line running all the way down next to these wood chip mounds that we're growing in. And this will all be buried in these wood chips running down this way. And we're actually even going to extend this even more and bring it off to the side so we have more water access points on that side of the pasture. And if you think I'm done, I'm not. There's more. Now right here is that black pipe that I showed you earlier that's connected to the blue pipe. I take this and I can run it. This is where we drive in and out of, so I had to make a connection point so we're not driving over all of the hoses and everything else. But right here is another connection point so I can go to the rest of the garden, but also hook up and water any animals. I need to finish this part out so I can have better access to watering the animals, and I don't have to do it from this point to the rest of the pastures, but that's the goal. is that I can hook up to here and continue the line to the other parts of the garden. Let's actually turn this one on and fill up one of the animals' water bins so that you can see how it works. I've got the main water always running into these blue pipes. Turn on the valve, water's now going to that black pipe, and now we're back at the end part of that line. These awesome quick connect adapters almost work a lot like an air compressor, if you're familiar with that. So we have one end that's always open. If I had this connector on this side, which I have the option to do, water would just be spewing out as long the second I turn it on. So now I take this end, and these ends fit on all normal hoses. So I just have a bunch of them which come with the quick connects. I just connect them to a bunch of my hoses, and I have hoses in areas that I'm gonna need the quick connects at. And I have that one hose that I carry around with me everywhere too. We just connect right into here, and it's filling up. Let's go see where it's coming out at. This is just a regular hose, which is here temporarily, and it's coming out and filling up one of their water bins. Okay, it does not come out this slow. Let me fix what's happening. There were kinks in the hose. That was very anticlimactic. Now here is the typical water pressure that comes out of my rainwater system. It's all gravity fed, coming down from my little hill and watering everything. It's not enough pressure to operate some sort of sprinkler system, maybe a drip irrigation system, but not one of those irrigation systems that need a lot of pressure to push up a pipe and spray out. But that's not what I need. I just need enough to water the garden on my own, or even drip irrigate, which just comes out of tubes, and that's something that we're gonna set up in the future. Now, if you don't have a hill to utilize, you could still do something like this, because with those 275-gallon IBC totes, I keep saying the same thing over and over, but with those 275-gallon IBC totes, but with those giant IBC totes, they do make it pressurized. You can do it by hand if you want to do it. You can pressurize it by hand, or have a pump pressurized system, or have both. Let's say you wanted to have it so that it has, I don't know, generated power, or even some power that comes from a solar battery. Or if you just want to do the whole system by hand, you can do this and have a pressurized system that's still off grid. But just wait, there's more. So this one's not fully set up. I had this one set up, but we changed everything when we decided to do this whole run down the hill system. So this actually comes off the side of my barn, comes down these tubes. This is not being filled right yet. Why is there water in here? But this is not being filled yet, or shouldn't be. And, oh, it's not filled. The totes are just heavier than I thought. Or I'm just weaker than I thought. Well, then from here, I'm able to fill this one up, have another reserve, so that I am bringing it all the way down. This splits these two pastures. So I have another one down the center of the pasture that I can still access right here just as another backup water, because the past 2 years we've had 2 droughts. So we are just being prepared. We have a lot of animals. They all need water, and so does our garden. Well, now that I've gotten you excited about this, where did I find all of this tubing and stuff? I found, all right, this is 1,000 feet roll right here. I have one extra. I guess I ordered one too many, but hey, it's gonna be really useful for way more than what I have now. But this is exactly 1,000 feet. This came from a place which I am not affiliated with. I have no connection with. They don't even know I'm making this video, but this came from a place that I found online called Drip Depot. They were super helpful in their order process and everything else going on. They had a deal, and we were able to get this in a pretty decent price range. They don't only sell the tubing, they also sell all of the fittings. Now, all these fittings are a little bit confusing, especially when you are doing a double setup where it's water and from the city. And here's what I have going on. This line comes from my rain barrel setup. And when the water is pressurized through the city system, I need this to not squirt water out. So a bottom part like this doesn't work because this is always running. I have an on and off valve right here, so that's just letting rainwater out. This one, if the city water was turned on, this would all be pressurized with water. So I had to have the quick connect on the end, which means that I also had to have a male end here so that the quick connect could go on this side. And this just fits right on here. And the other connectors are very easy to put on, where they just twist off to, and then they fit on there really well. That's it. So this piece goes inside of the tube and then twists on. And then you've got your whole setup. Really, it was that easy just to hook that up. And so when I have so many quick connects to do and so many Tees and all that stuff, it's not like with the PEX piping that all the shark bites or the other stuff and the fittings are so expensive and they're hard to take on, hard to take off. Not like that. And then you got the quick connect access where you just do that and you're good to go. Well, is this the ultimate rainwater system setup? I think it's getting there, and I think we're pretty close. But you be the judge, and you let me know down in the comments. Would you do it any differently? And is this useful to you? I think that with this setup, you could be pretty successful too, and you won't have to rely on city water for everything, and your garden will be much cheaper. And hey, if you have any interest in rainwater collection systems, animal husbandry, gardening, or just general homesteading content, consider subscribing. We would love to have you here. Great community, and we like to talk in the comments a lot. I'll see you next time. Oh, and I just came out with a video yesterday about one of the key things that I think most homesteads are missing when it comes to traditional skills. That video is going to be right here. Check it out. I'm just going to stand here awkwardly now, waiting for you to click it. Here. It's right here. Why are you still here and not clicking? Bye.